King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Wait a minute. Wrong movie. Whoops. Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Bat here. Hope you're doing well. So we got new Denzel, the Denzel Washington movie, The Equalizer 3, bringing back director Antoine Fuqua, who's done a lot of Denzel movies. Like Training Day, that's where the quote was from. The Magnificent Seven, and the other two Equalizer movies. Forward to this movie, I enjoyed the first two movies. I think they're well done action movies. And who would have ever thought Denzel Washington would have an action trilogy? Nobody. And not only that, but almost 20 years, 19 years later, after one of my favorite Denzel Washington movies, Man on Fire, Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning team up again in the D&D. You know, we had Dungeons and Dragons earlier this year, but this is the real D&D. Denzel and Dakota. Dakota Fanning was one of the best child actresses in the 2000s. I mean, she worked with Tom Cruise, Denzel, Robert De Niro, Sean Penn. You know what happened to Sean Penn? He went full retard. No Oscar. Tropic Thunder. She worked with directors like Tony Scott, Steven Spielberg. I mean, she was one of the best actresses in the 2000s, like Haley Joel Osment. Between those two, those were the best child stars in the 2000s. And then she disappeared for a while, did a Twilight movie or two, I don't know why, and then she's back, and she's working with Denzel Washington. Ew. Positives. Denzel Washington playing Robert McCall. He is perfect in this role. I like how he's serious in this movie, but he still has his moments. You know, he still has that smile of his. He still has that grin. But he's more serious. It also seems like he's a little bit older in this movie. I don't know how long between the second and third one, how much time has passed. But Denzel, once again, I also like how they handle the action in this movie. This isn't John Wick. You can tell this is an older Denzel Washington. There's no CGI, there's no stunt double. This is all, everything you see on screen, you 100% believe Denzel Washington did it. His chemistry with Dakota Fanning, 19 years later, they were great in Man on Fire. Their chemistry was perfect. Here, it was like watching Endgame again. It was like watching No Way Home and seeing Tobey Maguire show up as Spider-Man. The chemistry between Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning, perfect. Even 19 years later. And they had more screen time than I thought they were going to have, because the trailer only showed them in that cafe, sitting down talking. But we do see them throughout the movie. And every time they were on screen, I was smiling from each end, because they had such great chemistry and such repertoire back and forth that it was like, I want to see more of them. More of both of them in a movie together. Opening is like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's a great, slow opening. It's violent. It gets you back with the character of Robert McCall. Well shot. It just sets the tone for the action and the movie itself. And I thought that was great. The action. This is not a John Wick movie, like I said. The action is more subdued, more believable, more realistic on what would happen. There's action is very, very violent. This is rated R. This is a violent movie. I don't know if as violent as like A Man on Fire, but it's violent. And like even the action is good, really good, but it's believable. And I think that's what made this a lot stronger. It might not work for everybody, but like I said, Denzel isn't trying to be Keanu Reeves. Denzel isn't trying to be Liam Neeson. You know, Liam Neeson's still doing action movies. Like, buddy, you passed your prime. When they're doing 20 edits in one scene of you jumping over a fence, we got a problem. This one is more character driven. Like I said, there is action in the movie. But I would say this movie, after the opening sequence, it goes about an hour without any action. It's very much character development. And I like that. You want that in a movie like this. I like the setting in Italy. He's taking on the mob. And a new setting in Italy, Italy landscapes, the cinematography. It felt very fresh, and it was only an hour and 40 minutes. It's quick pacing, tight, very tight movie. There is nothing in this movie that feels like, oh, you could have cut that out. Too much fat. No fat. No. In Italy, they eat all the food. Italian. Dakota Fanning in this movie. She worked great with Denzel Washington. I wish we had more of her in the movie, and I wish they kind of explored, once we learn about her backstory and how she connects to all of this, I wish they explored that more in the movie. But once again, seeing her back on screen, now as an adult in her 30s, it was like that Endgame moment, that Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man No Way Home moment. I haven't seen him in a long time. He's back. Some of my negatives. Number one, Dakota Fanning's character. Again, once we find out her backstory, I think that could have been an interesting context throughout the entire movie. Again, maybe they'll do Equalizer 4 and they'll bring Dakota Fanning back and have more of her story in a future movie. Other than the main villain is this mafia, Italian mob, and even the leader of this mob, he's like a no-name actor. I think it would have benefited by having a prominent actor as the villain, whether it was like Andy Garcia, going back to The Godfather Part 3, The Equalizer 3, in Italy, hey, even, I don't think someone said even like a Mel Gibson, around the same age as Denzel, older actors now, that could have been very interesting. But I think they needed a prominent actor as the villain. Overall, I thought this was a very good movie. No, it's not the best action movie of the year. It's not even the best Denzel Washington action movie. That's still Man on Fire to me. But I think it worked for what it is. An hour 40-minute action movie with character development. And it's a tight film. Great acting by Denzel. Great chemistry with Denzel and Dakota Fanning. It's that reunion of Man on Fire. And the action is very tight, very subdued, but it's believable. 4.4 out of 5 for The Equalizer 3. Now, did you see The Equalizer 3? Are you a fan of Denzel? Are you happy to see Dakota Fanning return in Hollywood? And like I said, are you a fan of the Equalizer movies? Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Man here.